She's not what you'd expect. She's tough and feisty, but gentle and tender. She makes millions and gives millions to the poor. She cries, she laughs, she teaches, she comforts. This is the Dani Johnson Show.
Hi, welcome to the Dani Johnson Show. We are also very blessed that you decided to join us today. Happy New Year! Yes, Happy New Year. Can you believe that we've had an entire year go by so fast? What are you doing today? In fact, I don't know. Have you had like the craziest last couple of weeks like we have in our house actually? And it hasn't necessarily been because of the holidays. I don't know if you've been watching on Facebook or not, but and Instagram, but my dad had a major knee replacement on the 19th of December. And so I have been the nurse at home. Wait, I've been the nurse, the cook, the physical therapist, the watcher of the night, the prayer warrior. Let me think of what else I've been over the last couple of weeks. It's been crazy. 3 meals a day plus the snacks and the laundry. Oh, wait, the fire builder from early in the morning till late at night, building fires. I have gone through so much wood since my dad has had this surgery. So anyway, I don't know what your last couple of the weeks of the year look like. Are you one of those people that is super excited that the year has ended and that you're looking forward to what is going to be taking place moving forward? 2018, a brand new fresh start. And then it starts with today. It's January 1st of 2018. Honestly, when I look back on our past year, this has been one of the greatest years of my life. I was saying that to my husband just last night with tears rolling down my face, just saying, man, thank you so much for an awesome year. In fact, it's been an awesome last 2 years. Really, actually, it's been a last 4 years where things have gotten better and better and better for us. And honestly, largely because of what has happened in our marriage. It really blows my mind how the quality of our marriage really dictates everything else. It really does. It dictates how I feel as a mother. It has dictated how I have felt as a businesswoman. So right here on the Dani Johnson Show, every single day we are bringing you content for you to be able to define success for you and to defy what society says success is. Because the fact is that society's definition of success is a bunch of bunk. It's bogus, my friend. I know if you have actually gone off on the path towards what society says success is, you have felt it, right? Maybe you bought the big car with the giant car payment and of course the big insurance payment that goes along with it. Maybe you have also bought the house that you actually did not need, thinking it would make you happy. Maybe you even bought all those clothes and given yourself all kinds of liberty to go shopping until you dropped. And even that, when you got that credit card bill, you were like, oh, what did I do? Maybe you bought into the success definition of eating out all the time, right? And eating in fancy restaurants or just having the freedom to just not cook and to get takeout or to eat out 3 and 4 times a week. Whatever it is that you have bought into, in my opinion, is a complete lie that society says that success looks like this. What does it look like? The house, the boat, the cars, right? All the debt that goes along with it, the new furniture and redecorating all the time. Thank you, HD TV, right? With all the home decorating shows that is constantly enticing you into redecorating your house, right? Your bedrooms, your bathrooms, your living rooms, and knocking out walls and taking out your perfectly good cabinets and bringing in new ones. This all is what our society is selling us to be successful. But when we get down to the bottom line, you were designed in your mother's womb for something very, very specific. You were put together with all the right parts for a very specific destiny. There's a calling on your life. Do you realize that? So what I want to know is this. What is your calling for 2018? What is it that you have in your heart to do? What is it that you're going to do maybe different than what you did in 2017? How are you going to make it a different year? We actually, towards the end of 2017, in fact, it was around November, we were really thinking about 2018 and we're making plans from a business perspective, as well as here with the show with DaniJohnson.com. We actually came up with something that really resonated with us. And it was kind of a phrase, and it was play to win. And we decided to marry it along with 2018. Play to win in 2018. Why? Why not? Why not? What else do you want to do in 2018? Do you want to play so you don't lose? Or do you want to play to win? You see, there's basically 3 ways to play this game of life. 1, to play to win. 2, to play so you don't lose. And 3, to play to lose, which means you're not even entering in the game of life. How do you want to do it this year? As you're sitting here right now, watching this on the television or listening to it on the radio, or maybe you're tuning in via our podcast or right there on the website, DaniJohnson.com. This is your moment. This is your time. This is that very rare opportunity that you have. It's January 1st of a brand new year, 2018. How do you want it to go? What do you want to do? How do you want it to be from the beginning to the first quarter, to the second quarter of the year, the third quarter of the year, and the final quarter? Do you want these to be wins each quarter? Or do you want it to be that you're just kind of ho-hum, moseying along just like you maybe did in 2017? Or was 2017 a year that you felt like, man, we won? It doesn't mean that there's no challenges, friend. It doesn't mean that there's not challenges at all. Yes, there are challenges that you had maybe in 2017. And guess what? There's going to be challenges in 2018 as well. The fact is that winning has everything to do with how you approach the different types of challenges that you're going to endure in your life. The fact is that there's going to be stresses. Just like at the beginning of my year last year, I had a serious surgery December of 2016. It didn't go well. The first 3 months of the year, I actually had a gigantic open sore. And when I say gigantic, I'm talking this big. I mean, it was huge and it just would not heal. But at the same time, when I ended this year, what I said to my husband, this was one of the greatest years of my life. And why? Because typically in the past, the way that I approached different health issues that came up, I didn't necessarily handle them the way that I handled this last one. I did not allow myself to get all worked up and worried and freaking out and fretting, even though it was something like way out of my comfort zone to have to take care of. Like, for example, I'm one of those moms that couldn't handle when my kids would bleed, right? They fall down, they scrape the skin right off their knees. I was one of those moms like, I can't see that. Like, I just couldn't handle. And open wounds, just like, was not designed to be a nurse. I'll just say that. So in this case, it was a traumatic experience, but the way that I handled it spiritually, emotionally, mentally, and even physically, the way that I approached it did not allow it to affect my everyday, all day life. Didn't allow it to affect how I felt about myself or how I felt as a mom or as a wife or how I felt about a business person or as a daughter of the Most High God. It didn't affect those things. And so that's why for me, I say I won. Why did I win? Because I played to win in 2017 with how I approached my personal life and my professional life. I also set some other goals. Some goals like I wanted to learn some new skills. I wanted to challenge myself. I wanted to see what I was actually made of. I wanted to see if I could press against the boundaries that I set for myself 21 years ago when I had all of my kids and I was a mom and a businesswoman. I set boundaries for myself around my family life. And so now the kids are gone. Hello, they're 18 to 30 years old and 4 or 5 of them are married now. They don't need me the way that they needed me before. And so now it was a time in 2017 was to kind of make some adjustments, to be a little bit more flexible. And the rules that I set for myself literally 2 decades ago, there was time to kind of challenge those rules because my life had changed. So these are the things I want you to look at for 2018 for you. What are you going to do different? Are there some rules that maybe you set in place last year or the year before, or like in my case, 20 yeyears before, that maybe don't apply today, that are not needed any longer? Those boundaries that you set up that were needed back then because of the set of circumstances that you had in your life, that maybe today there's some big changes that have happened and now you can make some adjustments, be a little bit more flexible, maybe press on some of those boundaries and go, okay, wait a second, maybe it's time to move some of those boundaries, whether it's moving them closer to yourself or moving them further away. So let's talk about this because I really want to challenge you. I want to challenge you to make 2018 the best year that you possibly can, to where when the first quarter comes by, you're like, yes, I'm on the right track. Second quarter comes by, you're like, yes, I'm still on the right track, right? Now look at this. According to Business Insider, they reported that the top New Year's resolutions for 2017 was this. Listen to this list. Number 1, get in shape. Wow, that's a little different than lose weight. Years past, it was always lose weight. But in this case, it was get in shape, which I find to be so powerful. And I think largely that has a lot to do with social media. Between Instagram and Twitter, as well as YouTube, you know, there's been so many people challenging their bodies to go through great transformation. And it isn't about just losing weight. No, people are actually getting into shape, which is far more healthier than just losing weight. Because you can lose weight and still be a very sick person. You can be a thin person and still have diabetes, heart disease, and cancer. But those people who actually combine combine the two, putting their diet and exercise together, those people actually generally are going to be healthier than those that are just losing weight. So get in shape. That was one of mine for 2017. Was it one of yours? Did you do it? You're like, well, I did some of it. Some of it's better than what you did in the prior year. So even if you made a little bit of progress in 2017 in the category of getting in shape, celebrate that. That's an awesome thing. I'm celebrating it. The fact that I still am working out. I can like laugh and cry at the same time on this one. I hated anything to do with working out. I couldn't stand fitness. I didn't like it being talked about. I couldn't stand the pictures of it. Like, it drove me crazy. But I had set that goal actually in 2016, midway. Enough is enough. And the fact that in 2017, I was still actually working out, this was a dramatic miracle for Dani Johnson herself. So I'm asking you, did you have that goal to get in shape in 2017? How far did you come on that particular thing? Is that going to be your goal also to continue getting in better shape in 2018? The second one, according to Business Insider for 2017, was better time management. Was that one of yours? How did you do? Number 3 was to save more money. I find this like so wild that people cared more about getting in shape and having better time management than they did getting out of debt or actually just losing weight. Okay, so number 3 was save more money. Number 4 was learn a new language. Wow. I failed at that one. I totally failed at that one. By the way, these are not my personal goals. This was like in general, according to a census that was done. Okay, land a new job. Number 6 was build a personal brand. Wow. Number 7 was manage stress better. And number 8 was learn to code. Learning to code. That has everything to do with like IT, I believe. That would definitely not be on my personal list of anything. No way. Okay, so listen, we would love to hear from you. Come over to Facebook and talk to me right now. Let me know today. Yes, even though it's New Year's Day, I want to know, give me your top 3 most important New Year's resolutions that you must accomplish for this year, and then let's have a conversation about it. And or give me a video on what it means to you to play to win for 2018. How do you want to win in 2018? What category do you want to win in 2018? Or what does it mean to you to win in 2018? All right, you can leave me a video right on Facebook. It's really, really simple. Just record it with your smartphone and then upload it right there on, if you just go to our Facebook page, Dani Johnson Live, you'll see exactly how to do it. So we want to hear from you. We want to see your comments, and we want to even see some videos from you. This is Dani Johnson. We'll continue with more about winning in 2018 after this.
Join us on Facebook right now and post your video telling us what winning in 2018 looks like for you. More resources, more training, more results. The DaniJohnson.com Insider Membership is your ultimate success shortcut. Get exclusive access to reports, videos, audios, ebooks, cheat sheets, and other training for your personal and professional life. This is truly DaniJohnson.com's best kept secret. Become an Insider member today and get on the fast track to success.
Imagine living in a decrepit, unsafe hovel made of waste material on top of old mining tunnels that could explode and sink your home at any moment. Imagine no water to drink, no safe place to raise your children, no food for your starving baby. Imagine that your kids can't learn to read because they have to work to support the family instead of going to school. Could you imagine living in that kind of fear and hopelessness? This is exactly what families are dealing with in the poverty-stricken village of Santa Pancha, Nicaragua. These families can barely meet their basic food, water, and housing needs. We are transforming that village. Be a part of this miracle. I want you to go to the website now and learn how you can help. Go to kingsransom.org and click on Santa Pancha. There you can join with other warriors against poverty and help bring a miraculous transformation to Santa Pancha. That's kingsransom.org, kingsransom.org.
Did you know you can take the Dani Johnson Show with you wherever you go? It's never been easier to stay up to date with the latest content from Dani with the DaniJohnson.com app. Watch or listen in the car, at the gym, or on the go. Download it now from the App Store and Google Play and never miss a show again. Your family, business, and bank account will thank you.
Hi, I'm Dani Johnson. The most common question I get usually are from people who are trying to juggle their life. They've got kids who are involved in all kinds of activities. They've got business or their job, finances, trying to get out of debt, plus all their church activities and all the volunteer activities. And they're pulling their hair out going, how do I juggle this all? Man, I once lived just like that until I learned Time Secrets. Time Secrets showed me how to be able to cut my hours from 100 hours a week that I was working down to 20 hours a week and tripled my income as a direct result with what I learned. Time Secrets also showed me how to get my priorities in order, which healed up my marriage. And I became a mother that I was proud of versus becoming the mother I didn't want to be. And so if you feel like your world is running around in all kinds of different circles, you can fix that. Call 888-757-8880. Again, 888-757-8880 for Time Secrets.
Change your habits, change your future. And now, back to the Dani Johnson Show.
Okay, it's 2018. Happy New Year! Whichever way it is that you brought in the new year, we want to be the first television show that says Happy New Year if you caught us right here first thing in the morning on New Year's Day. Hey, we asked a question of our precious, amazing clients that are with us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. We asked a question about how do you plan to play to win for 2018, or what does it mean to you? So I have a couple comments here that I'm going to read. We've got Joanna Sanchez who says, she goes, my win for 2018 is to overcome all my fears and obstacles to become who I am to be the best at. So my question for you, Joanna, is this. What are those fears? What are those obstacles? And what is your plan? You see, here's the reality. You know what? I had a few fears that I needed to overcome in 2017. And one of the things that I had to do is I needed to dive straight into those things. I'm going to tell you one of them, okay? Since you know that right here on the Dani Johnson Show, that we bring you content every single day to be able to challenge you to become more successful in every area of your life. And for you to define success for you, that you're not going to allow anybody else to define it for you. You're going to defy what our society says success is, and you're going to do an internal search on what does it mean for me. Let me explain real quickly. Let's just say that Joanna, in this case, you know, she's got fears and she says she has obstacles. But what are those fears and obstacles? Is it that perhaps you might be that person that is on a path going after what you think is going to make you happy, but in all reality, it's going to make you miserable? So many people do this. I watch this happen all the time. In fact, I did it for the first 10 years of my business career, where somebody else told me, and it was a multi-millionaire who gave me, several of them actually, who gave me the definition of success. And they said it was $1 million home, it was driving a Mercedes-Benz, it was being able to wear $5,000 suits. It was being able to travel to luxurious places. It was about being famous and being well known. All of these things that were put into my mind, you know, being able to stay at the Waldorf Astoria Hotel, paying $5,000 a night, being able to buy expensive gifts for my friends and family members, you know, like spending $5,000 per person, you know, for them to go on some luxurious trip, you know, buying them luxurious clothes. I did all of these things for 10 years, and I ended up almost $1 million worth of debt. Yes, Hans and I made millions of dollars in business. However, we had almost $1 million worth of debt, and we had an enormous house that we could not keep up. I mean, between the outside and the inside, it was a full-time job just to maintain that house, which was lame. The thing actually owned us, not to mention the giant $7,000 a month mortgage payment that we had on it that just added more pressure. So do you understand what I'm saying? When somebody else defined success for me, I followed that path, and I found it was a miserable path. Then I started to look at, wait a second, what's success for me? Having an amazing marriage is success for me personally. I rather have an amazingly passionate, harmonious marriage where Hans and I are the best of friends, and he really is my most favorite person in the whole wide world to be with, than any other success. And then next would be my relationship with my kids. I love spending time with my 5 children and my 8 grandchildren. That to me is the depths of success. Whereas all the business stuff really doesn't even come close to it. Here's another one for me, is being able to take care of those who can't take care of themselves, which right now I'm still caring for my father, who just had a major full knee replacement, who again is like immobile for himself and needs someone to care for him. I feel so blessed that I can actually do something like that. Or the thousands of orphans that we're feeding every single month, using my business skills and developing a multi-million-dollar business where the profits after the staff gets rewarded for what they're doing, and of course the government for, I don't know what they're doing, but they seem to get a big reward. But the rest of it, the profits go to the poor, and I take no salary. So what is that? That's a big win for me. I don't want to be paid for what I do. I don't want to be paid for a skill that I feel like God had helped to teach me and helped to develop. I want to be, in other words, I want to take my talent and be able to use it so that payment can go to the poor, to go for the orphan and the sick and the widow. And so prior to defining success for me, I was on somebody else's success path, and that path created a crazy amount of pressure, and there was no win in it. It didn't bring happiness. It brought absolute pain and suffering and a tremendous amount of debt. So Joanna, when you are looking at your life, the thing I want to know from you is evaluate what it is that you're going after. Evaluate that. Is the fear and the obstacles there because maybe you're living your life according to somebody else's design and somebody else's definition of success? Is it possible that the reason why you have all of that fear and all that pressure is because you're going after something that you weren't made for? Is that possible? It's something really important to look at. I know there were times where I felt an incredible amount of stress, fear, and pressure because I was living somebody else's definition of success. Today, I don't. And I haven't for a really, really long time. This is Dani Johnson. We'll continue with more after this.
Be sure to tell a friend about the Dani Johnson Show. It just might be the key to the breakthrough they need. Stay right here for more of the Dani Johnson Show.
This is your chance. This is your shot. Get your copy of War on Debt right now. There's one waiting for you that has your family's name on it. And inside that package is freedom. Your freedom, your family's freedom is on the inside of that package. All you have to do is open it up, press play, and start applying what I teach you in this program. 888-757-8880. You and I are going to help your family become completely debt-free in the next 5 to 7 years. Just imagine how that's going to feel.
Did you know you can see Dani Johnson live and in person? Go to DaniJohnson.com and find out about our next live event. First Steps to Success. Register today. Call 866-760-8255 or go to DaniJohnson.com/FSTS.
So I just want to give you a little bit of my story. This is my first time sharing my story on stage, so I'm a little nervous. But I'm excited. I was just asked, like, seriously 3 minutes ago to share my story. So we'll see how this goes. So my name, like Ray said, my name's Carradine Roundy. I am from Wyoming. Is there anyone else from Wyoming here? Yeah! I was thinking, I think I'm the only one that I've met from Wyoming. That's cool. I'm glad. So prior to plugging into Dani Johnson and First Steps to Success, my husband and I were completely drowning in debt. We got this new job and we increased our income, so we increased our way of living, which is what happens. And we were young, we were just married, and we completely bought more than we needed. We bought a new house, we already had a truck loan, we bought a new car, we lived to the max. And our marriage started to struggle, and we got to where all of our fights were about money constantly. And my husband had a really good job, so we had plenty of money. That was not the issue. It was that we never kept any of it. We spent it on stuff we didn't need. So just a little bit of background. There's just my husband and I, we have no kids, and we bought a 6-bedroom house. I know. Well, that's just, we had the money. The bank told us we had the money we could, so we did. And so obviously we spent the money to fill those rooms in that house on stuff we didn't need. So anyways, our marriage was failing. I mean, we were young, we just got married, and all of our fights were over stupid stuff that was unnecessary. And so I remember one time, just like a quick little look into what it was like. I remember one time sitting in front of our fireplace, our nice fireplace in our nice house, and we were fighting over how we were going to pay for Christmas for our families. And that was the eye-opener for us, that something had to change. And so we made a decision, and I started a business, and that's what actually opened me up to DaniJohnson.com and to First Steps to Success. And so after coming out of First Steps to Success, we have now been able to pay off, this is crazy, we have now been able to pay off just over $300,000. Which is completely crazy because we just thought debt was something that you live with. You know, you're always going to have a mortgage. You're always going to have a house payment, you know, car payments. That's just the way life goes. And little did we know that that's not the case. So we now live in a smaller house. We love it. We actually, I have less house to clean, which I'm good with. And we live so much more simple, and our marriage is completely turned around. We no longer fight about money. We wonder where we're gonna invest into next and how soon we're gonna get, you know, the mortgage paid off, and that's exciting to us. So everything's just completely changed. And, you know, the relationships that we've been able to grow with other people that are wondering what we're doing, that's been amazing because we've met so many great people, and learning what Dani's going to teach this afternoon has helped us grow to being people more than anything. And that, like, we hated people before, both of us. Like, we never had those skills. And so I'm really excited for this afternoon. This afternoon's going to be completely transforming to you. As far as being, like she mentioned this morning, you know, like, your business is people, your business isn't your product. And so with that being said, I just want to have you help me welcome back my mentor and America's favorite millionaire, Dani Johnson.
What's holding you back from the life you wish you could have? Is it your job, your spouse, your upbringing, your skin color, your education, your economy? If you answered yes to any of these, you need to listen carefully right now. This is the Dani Johnson Show.
So it's that time of the year, and some people don't want to face it. They're just gonna let January 1st of 2018 roll like it didn't turn a year. And there are those some that are actually gonna use this day as an opportunity to look ahead, to dynamically design their future this next year. You know, an interesting study came out recently, and it was by statisticsbrain.com, and check this out. 42% of Americans never make New Year's resolutions. Wow, that's like almost half of our population. Here's what I know. A man without a vision is going to perish. I used to be one of those people that never set any kind of goals. And then I was that person on the other side that I had so many goals set for a 1-year period that I would fail by the time February came about because I was completely overwhelmed and I set myself up for failure. So on this day, January 1st of 2018, we're trying to dig in on you, to pull out of you, what are you gonna do, man? What are you gonna do with this year? Listen, nothing becomes dynamic until it becomes specific, and you have the chance to dynamically design 2018 to be a year that you win, and maybe even win big. But you have to decide, how do you want to play this game of life? How do you want to live it? How do you want to win it? We asked some questions of our friends on Facebook, which, by the way, if you have not yet come on over to our Facebook page, you want to experience the incredibly supportive community that is gathering there. In fact, over 500,000 on just one of the pages, which is Dani Johnson Live. That's our handle for Twitter, Instagram, as well as no, YouTube? Not sure. I don't think YouTube is. I think it's just Dani Johnson. Yeah, I think it's just Dani Johnson. Anyway, I want you we asked the question on social media, and we asked some people to send us a video, like give us a video comment about what does it mean to win in 2018 for them. So the reason why I want you to be exploring this is because this day, this week, this month, this year is going to fly by just like 2017 did, and you might be in that same exact place where you still are not deciding what you want to do. So today's show is designed to be able to help to inspire you from other people's comments and some things that they're thinking about right now. So let's go over and watch the comment from Daisy Bergen. We've got Daisy Bergen that is giving us a video testimonial. Let's watch this.
Hi, Dani. Thanks for asking about 2018. I'm sitting here reflecting right now on that very thing. Success for me is loving my family well, being healthy, and serving my clients well. Just wanted to drop by and let you know that. Thanks for all you do, Dani.
Wow. So how awesome is that? Like loving my family well and loving my clients well. I think that would definitely be winning in 2018. But here's the question I have for you. Daisy, it's really important to kind of dig a little deeper, because when we have, first of all, I think that's an amazing goal, and I think that's an important New Year's resolution. But if we don't put some kind of parameters on it, if we don't really actually start to put a picture around that, like what does that look like? Well, one of the things that you can do is say, okay, well, what does it mean to not love well? What does that look like? Sometimes figuring out what something doesn't look like helps us to define what something actually does look like. And so if we don't get really, really granular and specific and come up with maybe even just 3 points, Daisy, just maybe 3 different ideas of what it means to you to love well. What does that actually look like? What does that sound like? What kind of actions will you be taking to love your family well? And a weekly basis, a monthly basis, to where you can actually track what you're actually doing. Because we can, again, set a New Year's resolution like, I want to love my family well and I want to love my clients well, and to me that is winning for 2018. We can say that and completely forget about it by week 2, let alone month 2, let alone month 3, let alone third quarter, fourth quarter. So how do we keep something like that on the forefront of our minds? And by the way, that is a really important goal and a really important New Year's resolution. In fact, a lot of companies actually use terminology even like that. But to take it from this idea, this concept, to love my family well and to love my clients well, we have to give it some specifics. So the question I have for you is, okay, what does it look like to love your husband well? What are 3 main things that you're going to focus on that communicate to him that you're loving him well, or to have him feel like he's being loved well? Same with the children, okay? So what does that look like? Maybe ask them, tell me 3 things that shows you that I love you well, that you feel fully loved by your mother. Tell me what that looks like for you. To be honest with you, that is clearly the way to hit the bullseye. I mean, it really is. The way to hit the bullseye is by asking them. And same with your clients. You want to tell them, hey, listen, one of my personal goals as a business person is to love my clients well. So can you tell me how you feel that I'm doing that already in some way? Do you feel in some way that I am loving you well, that I appreciate you well? Tell me what is it that I do, or what you would like to see me do more of, what you would like to see me do better. And even ask this question, maybe even survey your clients, where you can ask them, have you ever felt loved well by a company? If so, tell me what they did or what they said. What special act of kindness did they do that actually made you feel like you were loved well by a company? So those are a couple of tips on how you can accomplish that goal, because again, this goal that you have, this New Year's resolution of loving my family well and loving my clients well, is an important one. But if we don't get really granular and maybe just come up with 3 action items, 3 things that you got to do on a weekly basis or a monthly basis to be able to accomplish that. And then break it down even to daily activities. It doesn't mean you have to do all 3 every day. That can get incredibly overwhelming. But maybe it is, I'm going to do it with 3 people a day. Maybe that's good. That's a good place to start. Maybe you might find that's like too much. For some people, it's like way too much. I can't possibly love more than 1 person a day. Start with something, right? And then if it's loving family, could it be your mother, your father as well, your nieces, your nephews, your aunts, your uncles, your siblings? Who all do you want to add into that picture of loving well? And then again, how many people per day are going to show that love to? And how are you going to show it? So just make sure and get really, really specific. I believe, honestly, Daisy, that this particular New Year's resolution has the ability to really, really grow your business, grow your client base tremendously, as well as intensify the love, the passion, the honor, and harmony with your family. What this New Year's resolution also has the ability to do is it also has the capacity that through the tough times that are ahead, because we know 2018 is going to have challenges. It may even have trauma. It may even have disasters. It may even have more natural disasters like what we had in 2017 that nobody was prepared for, right? So in the midst of disaster, this goal that you have to love well, this New Year's resolution to love well, actually will help to sustain no matter what trauma or natural disaster or personal disaster you may encounter in 2018, because those things happen. All right, so we got another message here. We've got Shunta Love, her idea of winning well. She wrote this on social media, on Facebook, in fact, on our page, Dani Johnson Live. She says, winning for me will be a house and a master's degree. Okay, so that's what it is for her. So what does that look like? Man, how awesome to go after a master's degree. Personally, I don't have a college education, so I really admire those people who manage to actually go past high school, because I barely made it through high school. So in the case with Shunta, Love, by the way, what a great last name. I wish I had that last name. But a house and a master's degree. So then here's the question for you. Again, nothing becomes dynamic until it becomes specific. And this is definitely an awesome New Year's resolution. I like the fact that winning in 2018 for you is 2 simple things, right? Which actually are not simple. I mean, but they're 2 things versus 10 things, right? So you're saying if you end this year with these 2 things, then bam, I won. Okay, so a master's degree. What kind of grades do you want to get? Right? What kind of grades are you going to go after? What is your educational plan? What is your plan? What times of the day are you actually going to study? How many hours are you going to give yourself to study? Okay. And what about a house? What kind of a house are you looking for? How much do you want to spend? Is this a rental property? Is this a house that you want to live in for a couple of years, turn around and flip it? Is this a house that you actually want to have roommates so that roommates can make your mortgage for you? Is it something you want to live in on your own? These are important questions. Get really, really granular. Where do you want to purchase this house? What do you want this house to look like? Is this your first home? Is it your second? Is it your third? Is it your fourth? Which house is it? But get really, really specific on what kind of a house it is that you're looking for. And by the way, when it comes to buying a house, please do research. Please do research. Do not buy at the top of a market. It's not always best to buy. Sometimes it's actually wiser to rent. And that has everything to do with finances, okay? And then the other thing is that I want you to look at is I want you to look at what kind of value it is that maybe you can get in a different price point. Meaning, okay, some people, I'll just tell you this, when I bought my first house, I screwed up completely. And I bought a home that was $250,000. It was a condo. It was the side of a gated community. Again, this is a year after I was a homeless woman. So I went hog wild. I had a poverty mentality and a poverty spirit. And I bought a house that had white everything in it, and it looked like a Dalmatian dog by the time my kids had bottles and leaky diapers and everything else. And so I didn't understand real estate. I had to live in that thing for 5 years just to sell it for the same amount that I bought it for. I could have rented it for less than if I bought it. So just make sure you do some research. Make sure that you're not buying at the top of the market. Make sure that you're going to get a great deal. Don't buy what you think you want. I want you to buy something that you know you can resell or you can turn around and rent so you can start building your wealth portfolio. This is Dani Johnson. We'll continue with more right after this.
Don't know what you want in 2018? When we come back, Dani has some idea starters to help you build a vision for the new year.
The whole story of how I went from homeless to millions is right here in this book, First Steps to Wealth. I'd love to give you a free copy of this book. Just dial 888-757-8880. You can get your free copy of this book. It's like a real book, my friend. You can get an ebook copy for free right now, or if you'd like to pay the shipping to get this $15 book to your house, I'd be happy to send it to you. 888-757-8880. Get your copy of First Steps to Wealth today and begin on a brand new path of some great success.
Did you know you can see Dani Johnson live and in person? Go to DaniJohnson.com and find out about our next live event. First Steps to Success. Register today. Call 866-760-8255 or go to DaniJohnson.com/FSTS.
Prior to plugging into DaniJohnson.com, I was working 60 to 75 hours a week. I was completely stressed out. I was incredibly angry with my husband. We were in over $350,000 worth of debt. By applying the strategies that Dani teaches, in the last 3.5 years, we have paid off $170,000 in debt. We are no longer roommates, and we no longer spend every single cent that we make. We now have made tens of thousands of dollars in passive income in investments. We are on the right track. We're traveling around the world together, and we are building homes for those who really need it. So I don't know about you, but if you want to cut back from 60 to 20 and 30 hours a week, if you want to mend some relationships, if you want to make your life more efficient and a lot more fun, and you want to be the best version of you, I highly recommend that you get registered because your life is about to change.
Prior to plugging into DaniJohnson.com, first steps to success in creating dynasty, my wife and I were really lost. We were struggling in a relationship. We were struggling financially, drowning in debt. Our relationship was really broken. We were in a bad place. We were living in two completely different states and not really honoring each other. Once we got plugged into the community, we noticed a shift in our lives. Most importantly, we came together as a husband and wife. That was the first thing we did. And when we finally came together under the same roof, things started to change. Over the past 3 years, we've been able to pay off over $495,000 in debt. I know in my business, I've had a job created for me that increased my income by 50%. That has actually opened up the door to allow my wife and I to spend more time with each other. So I don't know where you are. I don't know if your relationship is super awesome. I don't know if your job is immaculate. I don't know if you're debt-free. But what I do know is if you're not any one of those things, your next step is to get plugged into DaniJohnson.com, go on the website, get plugged into the community. I promise you, your life will never be the same.
Prior to plugging into DaniJohnson.com, I was a broke college student, drowning in debt, and I felt like the world was crashing all around me, and I had bad relationships. Since plugging into DaniJohnson.com and First Steps to Success, I was able to pay off $6,600 in 4 months. Now I'm able to give 10% of my income to wherever my heart desires. I actually, using the skills that I learned from Dani, I actually landed a job before I graduated college. And I'm able to travel the world. All I know is if you're serious about annihilating your debt, traveling the world, helping people, and having fun doing so, I highly recommend you get registered for the next First Steps to Success. Do it now, don't wait, don't even thinking about it. If you're ready to change your life, just do it.
We went to our first ever First Steps to Success just 10 weeks ago, and it has definitely been life-changing ever since.
We felt like we got hit by a 2x4, but it was the best 2x4 because what we realized is that our priorities were clearly out of line. I had been building a home-based business and had been working 80 to 100 hours, and I realized that that is not my role and that I had actually taken my husband's, and it was that realization that something had to change, and we immediately went home and changed everything. There was no hesitation. We said, you know what, we need to be obedient to God.
And we've implemented the tools day one. We started implementing what Dani taught us, invested in ourselves, invested in our kids, got our priorities in line. We've now actually paid off just not quite $60,000 in debt and looking at a couple more investments here as head of the household.
It's been absolutely incredible. So I just encourage you, if any of this speaks to you, if you're wanting to get out of debt, if you're wanting better communication, if you're wanting to elevate to the higher level of life, get to First Steps to Success and plug into DaniJohnson.com.
If you knew you couldn't fail, what would you do with your life? Discover your own answer. This is the Dani Johnson Show.
Hey, is 2018 going to be better or worse than 2017? It's really going to be up to you and how you choose to approach it. Did you know that 76% of Americans believe that 2018 is going to be better than 2017? That's according to CBS News. I have to be honest with you. If they actually called me and asked me that question, do you think that 2018 is going to be better than 2017? I would say yes. Now, why? I don't know. I've had this crazy feeling in my spirit. I really have. I had this crazy feeling in my spirit that next year is going to be an amazing year. And I don't know if it's because we've done a lot of groundwork in 2017 to get ourselves set up for a better 2018, or if it's just something kind of happening in my spiritual life. I really can't explain it, but I would love to know about you. We kind of set out here on the Dani Johnson Show that we wanted to have you think of 2018 about playing to win. We want you to have that kind of be your slogan for the year. I'm going to play to win this game of life in 2018. I'm going to approach it different. I'm going to approach my business different. I'm going to approach my marriage different. I'm going to approach my kids different. I'm going to make small, little, tiny adjustments so that I play to win. And I'm also going to treat trauma and disasters that I know are going to come next year. I'm going to treat the circumstances that I don't like completely different in 2018 that I do in 2017. So we've got another video to show you real quick. We've got Danette, which, by the way, that's my birth name. Dani Johnson. I've only encountered one other person named Danette. Let's watch from Danette what her idea of playing to win for 2018 looks like.
Hi, Dani. I'm excited for 2018 for building my accounting business, becoming a trusted advisor, helping others with budgeting, reducing debt, and increased profitability for the businesses. Also getting a children's book published that I've written, and for First Steps to Success in San Diego.
Wow, Danette, I love your hat and your scarf. So adorable. Man, what an awesome goal. And I love the idea of you as an accountant wanting to help other businesses actually succeed. And of course, writing a children's book. I think that's absolutely amazing. So these two things are your goal as far as how am I going to win in 2018. My personal belief, and by the way, this happened by accident exactly 27 years ago when I started a business from the trunk of my car in a payphone booth. My whole focus was, who can I help to succeed? And that's exactly what I'm seeing you doing, Danette. Your whole focus is trying to help businesses succeed, helping them become more profitable, helping them define where their money is going so they can now redirect it into places where maybe they're investing back in their business, they're being able to shore up better profits for themselves, maybe some of that leaky expenses that are not actually producing anything. You can actually help them find those places and be able to direct them to where they can actually increase their business or increase their profits, which I think is really awesome. It sounds like that nice little cool idea on the side to write a children's book might have been something that's been buried deep down inside of you for a really long time. So I love it. And I wanted to advise anybody that's watching right now, if you kind of have it set in 2018 as part of your winning plan to be along the same lines of who can I help to succeed? If you kind of make that your banner for this year, who can I help to succeed? That includes loving people better. That includes doing better for your clients. That includes doing better for your spouse and your kids. But who can you help to succeed? Think about that. How can you help your spouse succeed better this year? How can you help your kids succeed better? That doesn't mean you're doing it for them. It might be that you're just encouraging them to do better. In the case of when I was a homeless woman and I started in the weight loss business and I was fat, yeah, 50 pounds heavier than I am right now. So as a chubby girl trying to help people lose weight, I found that all people needed was for someone to believe in them. All that people needed was someone to encourage them, and that actually helped them to move closer to their weight loss and health goals. And so how can you help others succeed? You know what? Studies have proven for years that all people need is a little bit of an appreciation and encouragement. People who get encouragement for others, that is a form of inspiration. And when you inspire people, those people go farther and even faster by simply just saying, I believe in you, you're doing great. Even found that recently being home with my dad as he's recovering from a full knee replacement, as he's doing his, what do you call that? Physical therapy. As he's doing his physical therapy. You know, just as I'm counting for him, right? He's doing these particular exercises. You got this, Dad. You got this. You can do it. Come on, you got one more in you. Or, you know, try to get him to stretch his knee better. Just, Dad, you can do better. Come on, you got more. There's more inside you. There's more inside you. It's amazing what happens when you encourage somebody, how much farther, faster they can go. And again, that's for their personal win. That's not about encouraging someone so they win for you. I'm talking about encouraging people right where they're at with what matters to them. So oftentimes people can use encouragement as manipulation, which I don't agree with. Sadly, in my early days, I definitely had a fair share of that. Then I paid the price of it. And it's not fun. But just encourage people with what they need to be encouraged with, not with what you want them to do, but with what they actually want to do. And that's how you create a win-win situation. Okay, so we've got Christy Kimbrell, who wrote that her win for this year, for 2018, will be to pay off debt and to buy a house. In the last segment, I already talked about, gave some tips about buying houses and how to kind of think about that and kind of expand your idea about that and how to get very, very granular and specific about what kind of house you want to buy. So I'm not going to talk about that again, but paying off debt, hello, that needs to be, I would say, majority of the Western part of the world's goal right now is to become completely debt-free. Friend, I want to challenge you there. Sometimes people don't set a New Year's resolution to become debt-free because they just think it's impossible, or they've just learned to live with it. They kind of learned to live with it like a limp. right? You know, you hurt your leg and you just kind of start limping around, and then pretty soon you start dragging your foot and you just learn to live with the pain. I hope that's not how you're dealing with your debt, is that you've just learned to live with the pain. That is not wisdom, and it is not healthy. Don't learn to live with the pain of your debt. I want you to press through. It is doable. In fact, if you're using the system that we have called War on Debt, you can actually make it fun, because you can actually fight against what's been fighting against you. In fact, if you don't have the book, First Steps to Wealth, and this is your very first time watching the show, we'd love to give you a free copy of that book. 2 chapters in it about how to pay off your debt. There's also a chapter on how to actually grow in your career and get bigger bonuses and maybe pay raises if you choose to follow these particular strategies. Also in that book is going to show you how I was homeless 27 years ago, and the exact same strategies that I used to start a business from the trunk of my car in a payphone booth. And within my first year, made my first $250,000. By the end of my second year, I made my first $1 million. That book again is First Steps to Wealth. If it's your first time watching the show, call this phone number right now. It's at the bottom of your screen. Or if you're listening to this on the radio, 866-760-8255. Again, that's 866-760-8255. Get your free copy of First Steps to Wealth right now, and let's make 2018 the best year of your life. Let it be the best financial year of your life. Let it be the best relationship year of your life. Play this one to win. Play this year to win. Play it well. Leave nothing on the court. I mean, leave it all on the court. Leave nothing in the bleachers. I want you to give it your full heart, your full best. And let's start it with First Steps to Wealth and or War on Debt. Declare the war that has really come against you, that has had you playing wounded in the financial game of life. Don't be wounded anymore. I want you to strengthen yourself, strengthen your wisdom, strengthen your heart, coming against that debt that has strangled you, that has even intoxicated you, that has even seduced you into living a life that you don't want to live. You want to be on top financially, and you want that to start in 2018. Come on, you know you do. All right, so that's quite a few ideas that we've given you, and we've heard from other people about how they see playing to win in 2018. This is Dani Johnson. We'll continue with more after this.
Dani will be back with more expert business, money, and relationship advice to help you live the uncommon life. Stay right here for more of The Dani Johnson Show.
The whole story of how I went from homeless to millions is right here in this book, First Steps to Wealth. I'd love to give you a free copy of this book. Just dial 888-757-8880. You can get your free copy of this book. It's like a real book, my friend. You can get an ebook copy for free right now, or if you'd like to pay the shipping to get this $15 book to your house, I'd be happy to send it to you. 888-757-8880. Get your copy of First Steps to Wealth today and begin on a brand new path of some great success.
Imagine living in a decrepit, unsafe hovel made of waste material on top of old mining tunnels that could explode and sink your home at any moment. Imagine no water to drink, no safe place to raise your children, no food for your starving baby. Imagine that your kids can't learn to read because they have to work to support the family instead of going to school. Could you imagine living in that kind of fear and hopelessness? This is exactly what families are dealing with in the poverty-stricken village of Santa Pancha, Nicaragua. These families can barely meet their basic food, water, and housing needs. We are transforming that village. Be a part of this miracle. I want you to go to the website now and learn how you can help. Go to kingsransom.org and click on Santa Pancha. There you can join with other warriors against poverty and help bring a miraculous transformation to Santa Pancha. That's kingsransom.org, kingsransom.org.
More resources, more training, more results. The DaniJohnson.com Insider Membership is your ultimate success shortcut. Get exclusive access to reports, videos, audios, ebooks, cheat sheets, and other training for your personal and professional life. This is truly DaniJohnson.com's best kept secret. Become an Insider member today and get on the fast track to success.
I just heard this amazing story. One of our clients had written us telling us that they had used job domination and unlimited success and has absolutely exploded their career. He said, Dani, I don't know where I'd be today without job domination and unlimited success. Listen,
Do you want more recognition from your coworkers? Do you want to be recommended to people all over the world? Do you want to be somebody that is highly sought after? Listen, if you're in a dead-end place where this gentleman found himself, but then learned new strategies and changed everything in his work life, and obviously this has resulted in higher bonuses and pay raises, you're next. 888-757-8880. Get your copy of Job Domination right now. 888-757-8880. Again, 888-757-8880. Job Domination. That's what you need. It's time for you to dominate the job market and break through the rut that you're in.
The way you look at things is about to change. And now, back to the Dani Johnson Show.
All right, friend, this is the only chance you have to make the first day, January 1st of 2018, really count. How? Come on, come up with 3 things that you're gonna do in 2018 to make sure that it is not a repeat of 2017. Even if 2017 was an awesome year, let's not repeat it. Here's a couple more last few seconds of ideas. What are you going to learn that's new this year? What are you going to learn? I've got some things that I'm going to learn. I'm putting myself through some painstaking training and coaching right now, reading all kinds of crazy books that I never in a million years would have read, all to be able to help me engage and do better, be better as a businesswoman, be better as a team player even at home, be a better wife, being a better mother, being a better grandmother. These are some of the things that I've got on my list as a New Year's resolution. What is on yours? We would love to hear from you. Please come on over to Facebook Live. Facebook, Dani Johnson Live is our handle at Facebook. And by the way, we've got a brand new free webinar that's launching this week, January the 4th, which means it's probably Thursday night. I believe it's around 7 o'clock. From 7 to 9, it's a 2-hour webinar. It's absolutely free, and it's called Play to Win in 2018, where we're gonna give you some important strategies on how you can win for 2018. Let's make sure that this is gonna be the greatest year of your entire life. Why not? What else better do you got going on? If you're gonna have another year, why not make it the best one that you've ever had, right? Why not? Hey, and also, did you hear about our new podcast, the Dani Johnson podcast? You can get it on your smartphone. Just download the app. iPhone already has an app for you on if you have a newer iPhone. If not, if you go to your app store, you can go ahead and find the app for a podcast on for Android and or your iPhone. So go ahead and get that and join us on that podcast. And we'd love for you to rate us and review us when you start listening to the podcast. And then, of course, DaniJohnson.com. Don't forget all the free resources. This can be your hub, my friend, your hub this year for making sure that you're going to win in 2018, right? You got to do that. You got to win in 2018. So, yeah. Come on over to Facebook, and or if you're on our website right now and you're watching the show on the website, just scroll down, leave us a comment. We'd love to hear how today's show affected you. And all of us here at DaniJohnson.com, we really want to wish you a happy new year, and we are praying for you. We really are. We are praying that this is going to be your best year yet, and that you become better in each area of your life, that your finances are going to be absolutely explosive in a positive direction, that you annihilate a tremendous amount of debt, that your marriage becomes more passionate and hot and wonderful, fulfilling, and satisfying, and that you as a parent feel more confident than you've ever felt, that you're able to handle whatever disasters may come your way, because they're going to come to all of our way, that you're going to be able to handle those with maturity and health, emotional health, mental health, physical, spiritual health. We are praying that your spiritual life is incredibly fulfilling and deep in the coming year. In fact, I'm also praying, perhaps if you're on the trip with us, that you have a connection with your Father in heaven like you've never had it before. That's it for us. We'll talk to you tomorrow. Happy New Year.
If this episode was an encouragement to you, go to DaniJohnson.com and share it with your friends now. You never know who else needs to hear it. This has been The Dani Johnson Show. Join us every weekday at 7 a.m. for more insights that will help you get to the life you've always wanted.